Hi everyone, I'm Stella and welcome to the floating market. This is Bargetown, a mod I downloaded from Bethesda.net for the purposes of a Reddit challenge where we were supposed to create a unique marketplace. So I made the floating market, and the aim of this place is it's a floating junk heap that travels up and down the coast of the Commonwealth. You can see Warwick in the distance there, Warwick Homestead, and we go and travel, we stop off at all the different points. So what I'm going to do is give you a tour of what I managed to accomplish. Didn't finish it, so it wasn't a proper entry, but I was proud of what I managed to do, so I wanted to share it with you. So firstly, when you come aboard, we've got these caravan trader posts. So there's 4 of them, and they've each got somewhere to sit for the caravan traders and their guards, and a place to display their wares in some of them. We've got an information booth here, which tells you a bit more about the floating market and the businesses you can find here. And over there we have the water feature, which came with the mod, and I love it. If you scrap the car, the water stays, but I love the way it was, and I thought, you know, with all those brahmin coming and going, it's a good idea to have the water. So what was planned for this bit was a list of some of the shops that you could find here on the floating market, but I never got around to that. Okay, so we come on, and one of the first stops is the restaurant known as Galleon. Now, I can't remember the names of all the businesses that I made, but rest assured they were all piratey, shipping, oldie worldy, water-based references. So this was Galleon. Galleon's a ship, and the galley of a ship is the kitchen, and you come on it. So you can come and have a lounge and a drink, or you could have an actual meal. And if you were on the go, you could just order at the podium for a takeaway. So we've got a number of booths here. We've got a kitchen in here, with the rolling pin on the ground. Nice view of Warwick over there. And we put the barbecue outside so it doesn't get all smoky in here. A little bar area, and in case of bad weather we put the jukebox in the Pulowski shelter to keep it safe, because there's nothing worse than going to play your favourite record and it not working because it's waterlogged. So that's the restaurant. Next you come on to the little mini section. We've got security office here, and they can keep an eye on everybody who's coming and going, so they know who's come aboard through the main way anyway. So this section comes with the game, with the mod, and it's actually vanilla, which I didn't realise until just the other week when I was exploring around Spectacle Island, which is just over there. And we've got a little fishing area, and all his beer's gone. So obviously he's had a bit to drink. Hopefully he hasn't gone over the side. We'll head back to the main entrance. And what we've got here is lob lollies. Now the lob lolly was the boy on a ship who assisted the ship's doctor, and I thought that was quite apt. So in here we have a little surgical area. And then over here we've got a little hairdressers, and we've got a waiting area with some magazines if you know what kind of hairstyle you want. Oh, and he does tattoos as well. So that's that section. Let's have a look at the view from security. There we go, so they've got a nice view of people that are coming on and getting off. We've got some armour and weapons. So this is a weapons shop, and it's on the tip of my tongue what I was going to call this. I really can't think. It'll come to me at some point and I will put it in the description of the video. This was going to have some mannequins and a load of shelving behind it, and we were going to have some baseball caps, visors, sunglasses, you know, so it's all about protecting yourself in the heat of the sun. A little novelty merchandise type thing. We've all seen them at the beaches. This is the artist in residence. So we've got a Cola Cars cage, and all the scenes are seascapes, because when you're painting in here, that's pretty much what you see. And this was inspired by Lois, Joker's girl, who does a lot of decorating with paintings and things like that. There were paintbrushes and stuff like that, but as I say, I've uninstalled and reinstalled mods and not everything made it. And then we've got a little eating area here, and we've got a place to let, so you can get more information about that from the info booth. So this here is the floating market itself, and I love that. I've got to say a massive thank you to Insane Sheklador for his tutorials on neon letterings. I mean, he's an absolute superstar. I've used all sorts of different combinations. I think maybe the A is an A and the F may be an F, or maybe, I'm not entirely certain. But pretty much everything else has been made up from different letters. So thank you to him for his lovely tutorial. We'll go and have a look at the market in a moment, but I wanted a quick tour of the housing area. So we've got a little house here. The stairs didn't make it. Little eating area, lounge area, bedroom with a little balconette. Oh, shut the door. So I really enjoyed putting all this together. Lots of different areas. We've got a little tarberry farm here. And I did have a mod that added not settlers but people, but I've uninstalled that mod now, so, and you can do that with USO. We've got a little nook here if it's wet and you've got no wet shelter. This offers a somewhat limited shelter from the rain or the waves or whatever it is. We've got lots of barrels under there to help keep it afloat. So it's unfinished, completely unfinished, but let's go and have a look at it. We've got a little house here as well. So these are mostly little shacks that have all been cobbled together. They're completely undecorated, most of them are unfurnished, and I was just building as you go, which I have really enjoyed doing. So we'll go this way first. I've got a nice little apartment here. That's the back of the other one. Got this one up here. There we go. And then got another little place here with a little view out over the ocean. and the plan was to make it look as if it had evolved over time by people building more and more pieces onto it. And I'll tell you now, my plan is to have not a floating market, but the floating vagabond. It's not going to be as big as this, but that is my next project now, and it's going to be a similar style where I start cobbling things together. I just don't know where I'm going to base it yet. I don't really want to be using Build Anywhere for it. I'd like to be able to build it at a settlement, but I'm not entirely certain what settlement will be suitable. So we've got a nice view out here. And there's another one. I quite like this place. The view here is really nice, especially at night with all the lights on. So that is pretty much all of the housing. One last little bit down here. I love this section, how it's all encased. We've got one last little house that didn't quite make it. So yeah, you can see there was a lot of work done, but a lot left unfinished, and I ran out of time to complete it for the Reddit challenge, which was a shame. We'll go this way. So what we've got over here is we've got a little ship over there and a tank, and this is going to be for a lot of the salvage. So we were going to have big containers, not the shipping containers, but you know, big things to hold stuff, because we've got the crane there, so we were going to lift cars out and dump them there and put more of these kind of containers. So that's what this section's for the large storage. So this mod borrows from Libertalia as well as a couple of other places. And this is our energy. A lot of what we do is powered by this beast. I tried to keep it as unchanged as possible where I could. So the next section I was particularly proud of. I worked really hard on this. It's the helipad. I got that from Settlement Supplies Expanded. So this is our engineer's space. This is his little workshop, the little power generator, all his tools, little bedroom. And he comes out to work on the purifiers, which I was incredibly proud of doing, because they will only go on a base, but I wanted them to be in water, so I had to do a lot of sinking. And to make sure they stayed secure, we've encased them in this lovely fence, so that when the high winds are up and he's got to be out here fixing it up, he's not going to fall into the sea and be washed away. So this is our little water purifying area, which I'm very, very pleased with. I worked really hard on that. And then we can come across here. I can't quite. Okay. So one of the last sections, and you'll have seen this idea in other videos. I'll just show you our little salvage merchant. That's his space. And normally, I like that bit there, for hooking out whatever he sees floating in the sea. Normally there's a raised ship thing here, but that's disappeared. But yeah, in my Starlight Driving evolution of a settlement for Loco 4-pack, I showed these cages that I used to store things for different settlements, and this is the first place I used it. So this is for Spectacle Island, and obviously they're expanding their tourist trade, so they want some nice barbecues and sun lounges and stuff like that. Parasols. Oh, a little flamingo there. And the castle are after some robots. Maybe they're doing some guards. And these were all chained to here, so they didn't float away. Nahant, I've got some furniture. I guess they're retaking the settlement, so people are starting to move in there. We've got some radioactive barrels for Kingsport, obviously, for the children of Atom. And then Salem have got a mismatch of furniture, whatever else they need. And there's another large crane here. So yeah, that's the cages for various settlements, and obviously when we get to the settlement they unload it, and yeah. So the final stop is the market itself, and this is something that I built from scratch, and I was very, very proud of it. And it's inspired by the Asian floating markets. So we've got the lovely boats for the traders to come in, selling fish and vegetables and junk and all sorts of things. And we've got a load of shops, so I'll take you around the shops. So this is the fisherman's shop, and he has a little boat out the back, and there was a fishing rod on there, but it's probably floated off into the sea by now. Again, there would have been a comedy name, but I can't remember what it was. I do like my puns. So some barrels and stuff like that ready to go off to another space. Now there were going to be living quarters on top of here, but when I built it, it didn't look great, so I got rid of it. Okay, so this is the florists. Again, there would have been a cool name. I think it was, May's Flowers. That's what it was called, after the Mayflower. So we've got, she's growing some plants and stuff like that in here. Oh, crikey! I have a set. How on earth did that happen? I am proper freaked out now. I never had anybody on here. Okay. So basically, at May's Flowers, she pays caps for craps. She likes your night soil, because why chuck it away? We don't have any plumbing here, so everybody stores it, and you can use it as fertiliser. So she'll pay 5 caps for a bucket full of night soil, which I thought was for fun. And then we've got this little place, which is full of all sorts of trinkets and gewgaws and thingamies, and it's called, because there were 2 brothers and they had a little falling out, so they run their separate sides. We've got Flotsam, who sells a load of 1 cap and 5 cap trash, and Jetsam, who's a bit more upmarket and sells less things, but they're a bit more high quality. Obviously they've all disappeared now, but yes, so that's Flotsam and Jetsams. And there's the I don't know whether it's worth trying to get on here. Oh, almost. And up. There we go. So what have we got on here? Food and liquor. Veg. Fruit and veg. More fruit and veg. But I saw these beautiful pictures of the boat traders that would sail up and down the marketplaces with baskets full of beautiful vibrant fruit and vegetables, and I just thought, you know what, that would look really, really fantastic, and I think it does. So out we come. So I did manage to name this one because it's Ship Shape and Bristol Fashion. So we've got some nice evening wear and some fisherman gear and gents clothing, some other stuff, mariner stuff, and then we've got some end of season lines here, bit of water damage stock on sale. We've got some hats up there, some sun loungers, and then this is one of my favourite places. It's a shop called All Washed Up, and what they'll do is they'll take anything and clean it for you. So there's the price list, and there's some stuff that's already been cleaned, some orders, stuff waiting to be cleaned. Obviously you can park your boat up and come aboard and, you know, put your orders in here. Got a little cap stash, some nice water, and then over here we have our washing line to hang up the washing on, and we've got a stack of stuff that's been washed or is about to be washed, and then here's our little laundrette with the power and the fuel and what have you, and this brings you into the information booth. So that is pretty much it. The only thing I can't remember the name of, I think, is the weapon store and the fish shop, which I think was something to do with plenty more fish in the sea, or plenty more fish. And this is a nice little covered walkway to get in, taking us back to this section. So yeah, this is the floating market, and I am hoping to do a floating vagabond build where every week I'll do another little section and another little section and another little section. So I'm gonna give it a minute and we will come back when it's a bit darker and do a quick little walk around just the marketplace so you can see the lighting. Alright. So as you can see, it's night time now. So we'll have a quick little look at night. It's not incredibly well lit. But yeah, there we go. I do like this space, the aeroplane, and it's nice to see the little lights at either side, and then of course we've got the street lights here. And we've got the galleon, which looks quite nice, all lit up. Oh, oops a daisy. Let's come out. And we've got the little strobe light, but you can't really see it. Maybe it's too bright for that. But yeah, so this says, Bon voyage, join us at our next port of call. So that's for anybody who's leaving. I forgot to put the I for the information in there. But yeah, thank you all so much for having a look around my floating market. I hope you'll be part of the floating vagabond. and you can give me plenty of feedback, because I love to hear what you guys have got to say. Take care.